Hi, I'm Clive Robinson from South Africa. I live in Pretoria and with my wife Vanessa. Yeah, so before I got involved with Tutor Doctor, I was in the franchising sector. Been in the franchising sector in South Africa for almost 17 years now. Had other brands that we managed across the country, and prior to that I worked as a banker at Standard Bank in South Africa. Vanessa, who works with me in Tutor Doctor, is my partner. Prior to that she was in corporate, and we decided to do Tutor Doctor together when the opportunity presented itself. The reason that we decided to get involved in Tutor Doctor is an exciting story. First and foremost, it was as parents. Of two teenage boys at that time. One of them was struggling slightly with school, and as parents we'd been through all the different options available in South Africa with supplementary tutoring. At that same time, from a business perspective, we were looking at another franchise system to add to the one we were already working on in South Africa, and those two collided, the business as well as being parents. And I met Frank Milner on a trip that he did to South Africa, the president of Tutor Doctor, and was really intrigued from the beginning, first and foremost as a parent, of the approach that Tutor Doctor has to helping kids to achieve their academic potential. And then after looking at the business model from a business perspective, we decided that this was something that we want to get involved in. We understood it as parents. We believe that there's a need in South Africa in the unique way that Tutor Doctor approaches the supplementary educational support. And we just did it at the end of the day because it made sense to us. So in South Africa with Tutor Doctor, we've seen awesome growth, and growth for the right reason. Vanessa and myself took a leap of faith after ticking those 5 boxes of what was important for us in a new business. And in 2017 October, the two of us went out into our local community and started doing consultations, not really knowing what's going to happen. But because of the proven system, because we went through the Tutor Doctor training like any good franchise system would provide, we were able to go into the community with confidence and offer what Tutor Doctor could offer. And it started really fast, and the growth has been amazing. And remember that this was just before COVID, and since then what we've been able to achieve is bring 8 other franchisees into the franchise community in South Africa. We've been able to help them to be successful with the support that we give. And South Africa in the last 2 years has seen upwards of 30% growth in revenues, in sales, and almost 100% growth in hours tutored and hours delivered. And it's a really amazing team of professionals who've joined the community in South Africa, and the brand is growing very quickly. And in time to come, we believe that Tutor Doctor will be a brand leader in this specific industry in South Africa. In terms of the support that we received from the Home Office in Toronto, Canada, that was a very important aspect of our decision when we were looking at the Tutor Doctor model. Having had experience in the franchising sector, having served on the Franchise Association of South Africa board for many years, it's important that when you make this decision to ensure that you have good support from Home Office. So Vanessa and I, very detailed around that. It was one of the 5 things that we needed to look at when deciding to make this, and I'm sure many of those 5 would be the same for everybody making that decision. And the Home Office support from the franchisor is one of the key aspects. And I can't emphasize enough how great the support is from the team in Toronto that support franchisees globally, but also us as the master license who then support the franchisees in South Africa. Their willingness to assist, the resources that we have access to, the flexibility in implementing things in order to help grow your business. That's one of the most important pieces of successful franchising. The thing that we like the most about being a Tutor Doctor franchisee is to see how the most vulnerable in society, who are mostly children, how their lives are changed, how they build confidence. When you go and see a family to do a consultation, in-person consultation. You make that connection with the student and the family. You can see that it's not a good situation at that stage, and the confidence of the student is not great because they're struggling at school. And then when you go back months later, after we've done what it is that we do and that we do well, to see, and their marks are better, they've progressed at school, it's just amazing to see the confidence of the student, and mostly how it's changed the family dynamic and the family environment, because this is a very emotive subject in many homes when children or students struggle at school. So the story that really goes to the heart of both me and Vanessa in terms of what we've been able to achieve in someone's life with Tutor Doctor is a student that we enrolled very early in the days when we had started. His name was Ben, very high on the autism spectrum. And staying with his parents, he was in his early 30s and really hadn't been through the education system and was unable to find work in the community because of that. And we found a specialist tutor. He had aspirations to become or to get some form of qualification, but he really battled with academics, and he just wanted to be able to apply for jobs in South Africa with some form of qualification. So we matched a tutor with him that worked with him for 18 months. They enrolled for a very specific course. It was a technical course that he wanted to do because he liked working with his hands. And the tutor saw him on a weekly basis, sometimes 3-4 times a week. And at the end of the day, Ben not only grew in confidence, but he was able to qualify. And it took a bit of time after that, but about 6 months later, his mom contacted us to say that he'd found a job, he'd found purpose in life, and that those are the beautiful stories. That's one of many of how Tutor Doctor and what we do can change people's lives.